This section 3.1 deals with finding the mode, the mean, and the median. Many times, however, you're not given a data set, you're given a frequency distribution, which means you have a range of values and then you have the frequency that's associated with that range. What this necessitates is working with two lists at the same time. So this video is going to show you how to accomplish this with the 83 and with the 84 calculator. This appears right after the previous slide. Obviously, I kind of walk you through it. So, given those lists, I believe it's numbers 28 and 29. Here's what I need to do. At least 28, the first one is I want to go to stat and I want to go to edit here, the very first option. Now, what I specifically did is I left the values from previous video in L1. I just want to show you what if you did not clear it out and you put your values in L2 and L3, which isn't bad as long as you remember where they are. All right, so in L2, I've got the midpoint. When you're given a frequency distribution, you don't have the raw data. So you're taking the range, the lower class limit, you're adding the upper class limit, you're finding the halfway point. You say to yourself, hey, I don't know the exact values. I'm going to find the middle number. And then in L3, I put the frequency that was associated with that first class. All right, on the 83, I turn it on, it'd be a good idea. If I went to stat, choose edit, once again, I get the same values. These are the midpoints. Now, over the years, when I've done this, people, they just get lazy. When you have a frequency distribution, you've got a range of values, and then you've got a frequency that's associated with that. You're going to have to put the numbers in two lists. There's no other way of getting around it. In the PowerPoint, he shows you this whacked out formula. No, the calculator will do it for you, but you've got to put the time and effort to put in the two values in the two lists, the values in the list. This first one in L2, I have the midpoints. That's what you need, followed by the frequencies. All right, so how would I calculate? Let's say we want to do the mean. We don't find medians of frequency lists. We find means, and in section 3.3, we'll also find the standard deviation of the frequency distribution. But once again, it requires that we find the midpoints of all those classes. If you're not finding the midpoints and using the frequency in another list, you're not doing it right. It just takes some time. There's no fast way of getting around it. You got to work at it. All right, so I want to find the mean of my frequency distribution, and I'll show you where you would find the standard deviation. All right, so I want to go to stat again. I want to go over to calculate. This is the only menu we use, one variable stat. Where are my midpoints? The midpoints is the first list that I enter in. It's not an L1, it's an L2. Second function, the 2 key. Where are my frequencies? They're in the next list, L3. Second function, hit the 3 key, arrow down, and hit calculate. And the calculator says, hey, here's your mean of that frequency distribution. Down the road, we're going to be interested in the standard deviation, but not right now. How do things differ on the 83? All right, so I want to find the mean and also while we're at the standard deviation. I hit stat, I go over to calculate, one variable stat, this is the only menu. Hit enter, and it just sits there waiting. It says, hey, all right, I'll do the work. Well, where are your lists? First case, just looking for where are the midpoints. It's in list 2. Second function, number 2. Now, I'm going to enter in where my frequencies for that distribution are located. I got to separate these two with a comma. And there's a comma key right there. My frequencies are in list 3. Second function, hit the 3 key and hit enter, and you can see the values are spot on. There's your mean, 20.94. And if I was interested in the values, 3.24 would be the standard deviation. All right. It's a lot of other stuff here, but with frequency distributions, all I'm interested in is the mean. And in section 3.3, we're interested in the standard deviation. Frequency distributions, you have to find the midpoints, put that in one list, enter that in first, and then your frequencies in the second list. I hope that helps. There's a video here again. There's another video posted in this module that does the exact same thing. Whether this one does a better job than me, that's debatable.